Hello, I am John Najarian, and this is Crypto Conversations. I'm here with Pascal Gauthier, a man who needs no introduction, but I'm going to give him this much of an introduction because he was nice enough to give me this Ledger Nano X, which he gave to almost everybody. Was it everybody at the conference?
Everybody at the conference, yes.
Bang. And here we are at CFC Moritz, St. Moritz, enjoying this beautiful, non-fake background and some lovely weather, because instead of being zero, it's actually pretty nice today.
It is nice outside, for sure.
Yeah. And so, Pascal, if people are involved in crypto, they know what Ledger is. It's a hardware wallet. But please tell us about how you got involved, how you've built this company. And thank you for joining me.
Well, John, thank you for having me. Not everyone knows Ledger, actually, you know.
Oh, come on. Everybody knows Ledger.
Well, we sold 4 million products to date, which is good. We sold 2 million products just last year, which is even better, because you can see like an accelerating trend and more people getting involved with Ledger. But if you think that there are 300 million people right now that are doing crypto, we only cater to a certain population, okay? And why is that? Is because we protect value. It's the most secure way to secure your crypto is with a ledger. And so a lot of people, are coming in the space and need like a bit of education to first like hold their keys themselves. A lot of people start with a custodian. They start with Coinbase, they buy a little crypto, but they don't have their keys. And we say, not your keys, not your crypto. So the second thing that you do, then you hold your keys, and then you need a little bit of education to understand what is the best security system that you put around you, because suddenly, with ownership comes responsibility. And so people, if there is a phase, they come in and then they eventually sort of get to Ledger to get the real security. And now more and more people are coming to us because we stand for security, but also ease of use. So what you see now, and when you reopen your Nano X, it comes with Ledger Live, which is a software interface, and where we bring sort of more and more services. So we secure your full crypto journey. Not just the holding of the coins, but also your transactions.
And vitally important, folks, you've all heard horror stories about people leaving their coins on various exchanges that get hacked. Coins are gone forever. In some cases, gone forever anyway. And every once in a while, you find one where somebody gets some of their coins back. But that's a big risk, especially when the assets are appreciating at the rate that Bitcoin has moved from 2020 through 2021. It came at the November of 2020. It was a $10,000 coin. Then it went to $40,000. Then it went to $69,000. So these are expensive assets, and not everything on the ledger, of course, is Bitcoin. I mean, how many different cryptos does the wallet support?
It's 1,000 coins. We support most blockchains and counting, because it's a very vibrant ecosystem. So you have more and more protocols that are coming to life. You have more and more projects, and so we've designed our product as a platform, so third parties can actually code directly on it. So if you think about our product, the Nano, think a little bit like the iPhone, where you get the iPhone, you get an app store, you get a browser, and then third parties can bring content and applications on your iPhone. So it's very similar to what we're trying to do with Ledger. And then you're right, there are so many things that are coming. I mean, NFT 21 has been the big boom of the NFT market. We deal with NFT as first-class citizen with your Ledger now. If you want to hold your NFT with Ledger and transact with your NFTs, you should do it on your Ledger, because if you look at NFT Twitter, everything that you read about is people being hacked or being scammed.
Yeah.
And they have the NFTs value appreciate overnight, and suddenly you got a Bored Ape for $500,000, and voila, it's gone. So
yeah,
you really need to worry about security. And I know it's a bitch, because we come from a Web 2 environment where security is sort of embedded in the product that you use. Security is Google's problem, not really yours. When you use Web 2, or Apple problem, not really yours. You can always blame a third party for it. But now, once you have your keys, you are in charge of your security. We'll give you the tools. We empower you to do this. But it is something that you need to think about. And most people, when they come in this industry, are very careless. I'm talking about consumers and enterprise. They're careless for a good reason, they don't know. And so we need to learn. And so this is why Ledger is building a lot of educational content, just to tell people how to do it. And so if you go to our YouTube channel, if you go on ledger.com, you can buy the product, of course, but also first and foremost, you can find all the content that you need to understand this revolution and understand how to best protect yourself.
Well, so tell us how you got started in this revolution, not just the development of the Ledger Nano X, the latest version, although there are new ones coming, I hear.
Yeah,
I hear a little whisper, there's a new one coming.
There's a new one coming. Nano S Plus, we announced it in December, and it's coming first half of this year. And then we have other projects that we will announce in June at Ledger Open, where you're more than welcome, by the way.
Where is it going to be?
I think this one is still going to be in Paris. And the one after, we're trying to figure it out, but Paris for the next one, for sure.
Fantastic. But so you developed this great wallet, this place to keep your cryptos and NFTs, anything digital asset related, thousands of assets, folks, safe on your Ledger Nano X. But how did you get started in crypto? What was the driving, the impetus? What was the catalyst to get you involved?
It's everything happened in a single motion in a way. I was in advertising technology before, all my life. I was privileged enough to work at Yahoo when Yahoo was the biggest tech company in the world. Mm-hmm. I learned so much with these guys. Then I joined a very small startup at the time with a great team. I was a good addition to that team, and we built a company called Criteo that we listed in the Nasdaq in 2013. To this date, I think it's the only French unicorn that listed at the Nasdaq or NYC in the past 20 years, I think. Mm-hmm. So it's still a big achievement. And then, it felt that sort of been there, done that, got the T-shirt with advertising. And so
got the T-shirt.
Yeah. And I was trying to, figure out what's next. And I was lucky enough to meet with, a guy that everybody knows in crypto, Vences Cesares, mm-hmm. who was the CEO of Zappo. Incredible guy. And, he pitched...
Crazy Argentine.
Ouais. But I remember he had like crocodile boots, etc. And so he pitched Bitcoin in 5 minutes, and I was like, okay, I get it. I heard about Bitcoin, but didn't really understand it. And Vences pitched it, with so much clarity. And I was like, okay, this is it. This is a big revolution. And, the crocodile boots also helped because I'm like, I want to work with this guy.
Yeah.
I want to be in his world. And so both the style and what he said, etc., made so much sense to me. And I was mid-14, and then I thought, okay, then I looked at the problem, and I thought, okay, there are two issues, data and security. For someone like me, there was not enough data to understand what was going on. He was still very geeky mm-hmm. at the time, and for good reasons. These things take time, and you only had developers. So I was, a white collar, not so much a developer myself. And so for me, I needed data to understand. But also, it was just after the Mongox incident, and so security was paramount. So what I did is I built my company called Kaiko.com now. It's a data company. It's Ambre Soubiran now that runs it, and Kaiko is killing it. It's some kind of IHS market for crypto, and it works really, really well. And then I met the Ledger team, and they were raising their first seed round to build Ledger. And they say to me, and it was all in single motion almost, and they say to me, look, we're going to use the chip and pin technology to secure crypto. I was like, here's my money, and I want a board seat. And
smart move.
Yeah, well, but they were great. They had a great team, and, they were thinking about this with super high ambitions and really trying to solve a big problem. And I thought, okay, data, I'm doing it. Security, this guy's doing it. I'm going to, piggyback on them, and, they got so much knowledge. And it was all in Paris. And so it was, a match made in heaven. And this has been like this since, end of 14.
Fantastic. The conference here in St. Moritz, how long have you been coming here to the CFC St. Moritz conference?
But, I was here the year before COVID, and the conference didn't happen in this year. When I came, my first year, so was 2020? Mm-hmm. I thought it was impeccable. Nicolo and his team are doing a great job here, bringing the crypto guys like us and the financial industry guys in an amazing setting that St. Moritz is. I don't know. It's just a very vibrant conference, and it's very genuine. Mm-hmm. And I think Nicolo and the organization have a lot to do about this. They're genuine people, and so they run things very properly, and they try to keep it very high level. And so when you come here, you meet great people. It's at the beginning of the year. Also, it's great to start the year. You meet everyone that sort of matters in the industry. So there's nothing not to like. It is the conference at the beginning of the year.
And when he says they are precise like a Swiss train or a Swiss watch, folks, because given Omicron breakouts and so forth and people concerned about their health, Switzerland said, okay, you have to do daily testing, daily antigen testing for a group of that size, because there are, 240 people, something like that? Very few canceled, and every day we get tested. You get an email that tells you what time you go down there. You go down there, they do the antigen test. 15 minutes later, you have it on your phone in order to get your pass to walk into breakfast. You have to have already passed your COVID protocols for that day. And it happens every single day. And yet it's like this. I mean, it doesn't take you 3 minutes. You walk in, hand the lady, let her take a look at your phone. They scan, put you on, take your swab, and the next thing you know, you're over at breakfast or you're at the conference.
Swiss precision.
Yep. So it was very smart for those of you who are concerned that are saying, well, these guys are being dangerous, they're doing this and that. Well, we've got masks when we're walking around in small groups. The only time it's off really is when you're eating and drinking and speaking up on stage, which this guy, you should hear his presentation, folks, because a lot of smart people in crypto, and I don't think anybody left the room when you were talking, Pascal.
We had a good crowd. It was good. And by the way, we also, you watched the video from the dungeon.
Yeah.
So, the dungeon at Ledger is our hackers team. We have the best hackers in the world that are working really on this problem of, security for crypto. Mm-hmm. And we are starting like a YouTube program where, and it's, you can already see the teaser on our YouTube channel, but we're starting a YouTube program where the dungeon is going to explain everything that they do to attack a product. And, I think this is really what the crowd liked yesterday. So, and I did this on purpose because I did my speech and people didn't really like my speech. But then
they liked the speech.
I presented the video in the end, and the video is a killer. I mean, it's great. And then people, to leave the impression to the people that the video was me, but the video and everything that we do is really the dungeon and the security team. And these guys are amazing. And, the way that they think about the problem, what they're trying to solve for users, and the way that they do it, which is very sort of selfless. Like they do it for the good of the industry, and they really believe in this. Like this is why they're white hats and not black hats. And so watch these guys. It's on YouTube. It's the dungeon. You'll find the teaser video, and then there will be a bunch of videos coming where they explain everything that they do, and it is fascinating. It is really what Ledger is all about, and this is why Ledger is great, because of these guys.
Well, I can't let you go before I ask you about going public. So I'm not saying it's an exit. I'm saying it's a way to secure the future, I'll call it, of a company that's being built, because you have to pay people. You have to keep great talent and so forth. And one of the ways people frequently do that is through an IPO or some sort of direct listing. What are you thinking about that you can tell us or share anything about?
Oh, sure. I can share many things on this. I think, for me, raising money is sort of a mean to an end. Like, my focus is to build the best possible company. I go for 100 billion right now. Like, in my mind, I want to build like $100 billion company. And so I'm trying to figure out like what this means in terms of like, how do you build a company? Who do you need to hire? What kind of money do you need to raise? Who are investors, et cetera, et cetera. And so when you start thinking like this, like everything needs to be open as a potentiality. Like, you could build like a $100 billion private company. I mean, it's been done in the past. Mm-hmm. The markets support this now. But equally, if you have to go public, you need to be ready. So what's important to us is we build and run this company as if we were a public company. And we put the processes in place, etc. Not necessarily because we're going public, but first of all, it's good practice. To run a company like a public company has a lot of benefits in terms of internal process, etc. And remember, we're a security company, so anyways, we need to run like an adult company. We can't just fuck about and be like this careless startup company. Not saying that other companies are careless, but my point is, when you're a security company, you need to get your act together quite fast. Like you can't have many angles that are sort of loose. And so therefore, for us, we need to be IPO ready at some point, and then we decide whether an IPO makes sense. An IPO could make sense for many reasons. Like it's a different set of investors. We are a hardware company, and so public markets sort of buy hardware. The most valuable company in the world right now is Apple, and you know, to my knowledge, it is a hardware company.
Yes, it is.
They sold 160 million iPods, I think, last year. Crazy number. I think they do like 24 billion revenue just with iPods. So public markets like hardware. So for us, it is potential, but to me, it's a mean to an end. So meaning like we build a company, we do what's best, we deliver great product to our consumers. And then the way that we raise money is sort of a secondary problem, which is a very important problem, but it's a secondary problem to first we deliver. And I was watching, and I've maybe finished with this, I was watching a video of Steve Jobs. Not that I think that I've got anything to do with Steve Jobs. Like, you know, you get Steve Jobs and then Pascal Gauthier.
It's closer.
Yeah, well, but anyways, the guy was saying, like, he was, someone from his team was asking a question like, why don't we talk more about Apple on TV? Why don't we see more journalists? Why don't we raise more money, etc.? So Apple had the same problems that we had like a long time ago. And he says, don't worry about this. Let's build great products and everything will come to us. And so for me, I'm very focused in delivering the future of this industry in terms of a hardware that we want to build, because I think hardware is a fundamental layer for this industry. There is no, like what I said yesterday, there is no security without hardware for crypto. Let's not kid ourselves. And your phone is not good. If you have a non-custodial software wallet running on your phone, I can take money, my dungeon can take money from you in less than 40 seconds. Your money is as good as gone. You just don't know it, but I'm telling you. And again, check our pages, check our content. Like we've made a lot of videos where we can extract the seed from a non-custodial software wallet. So this is just fact. Like I'm not making this up. You know, your money is as good as gone if you don't secure your private keys with hardware. And so for me, like we got a duty to this industry and to communities to build the best possible products. If we do our job right, money will come. So the first focus is to do the job right.
Beautiful. Well, he's doing a lot of things right, folks. Make sure you do check out Ledger. And of course, like I said, the Ledger Nano X and Nano X Plus coming soon. Thank you very much for joining me, Pascal.
Thank you, John.
Boom.